Well, so after college, I moved up to DC, and I was working in some kind of consulting type job. So my girlfriend at the time bought me a homebrewing kit, and just got hooked immediately. Did that for maybe 8 years or so, and said, "Hey, I've been making some beers that my friends seem to really enjoy, and had won a couple contests with the recipes." Said, "Well, let's just give this a shot." So I called up my friend Will Durgan, and he has been commercially brewing out on the West Coast for a number of years. Convinced him to move out east and open up Atlas with me. So the original steampunk idea was that brewing is very much a combination of art and science, and steampunk is a great representation of that idea. And so, yeah, all of our beers have different icons of a steampunk nature that sort of represent some of the essence of the beer that's behind it. For instance, District Common, which is our California Common style lager, it's a very nuanced, approachable, quaffable lager. It's meant to be somewhat elegant in the mouthfeel, and the icon for that is the John Hancock pen that's meant to signify elegance. And on the other side of that spectrum, Rowdy is our hoppy rye ale. So there's a lot going on. It's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit bitter, nice hop aroma to it. And then as the name says, it's a little bit more of an aggressive, rowdy beer. And so the Halewood motorcycle is the icon for that. So that was actually a tough one to come up with, some kind of icon that would still signify the Rowdy name and essence, but not be so aggressive as guns or something like that on the beer. I can't get my dad to pronounce the names correctly. He especially District Common, he calls it Atlas Common and Atlas District Commons with an S, and he never gets it right. Once we come up with a name, then we sort of turn it over to Bates and say, "Hey, we're making a new beer. This is the name of it." Sometimes we'll throw out a few ideas of what we think might be a nice icon for it. Most of the time, Bates comes up with what ends up being the final design, because they're much more creative than we are here. But we kind of work together. It's a nice relationship. We go back and forth, kind of tweaking the ideas until we come up with the final product. The working relationship is great. Everyone is very friendly and listens to the feedback we have. Tries to integrate it as much as possible without sacrificing the essence of the design. One thing, we get comments all the time. People really love our branding. They think it's very interesting, and it's a very strong graphic presence. We hear lots of great things about it. I know in the tasting room, when people look at the T-shirts, the NSFW Scorpion seems to be a big hit. But everyone has their own relationship with the icons that are there. Some people really like the pen, and of course anybody with a motorcycle is all over the Rowdy. I love all of them. Right now, I'm really in love with the Ponzi icon, the stamp press. I think the icon really goes well with the name and sort of the backstory with Ponzi, and the actual just visual impression of that is very striking. One thing that I really like on the website is the page with the beers, so you can go and pick out each individual beer. We have a lot of information on the flavor profile and the different stats that we use in the brewing world to describe the beer, as well as a picture of the beer. But then there's also a place for the icon for the actual art, and so you can click on that and it expands, and also tells the story of the icon and how it relates to the beer within that. One of the requests that we get all the time from people is they want to know where they can find our beer, and so we have a beer atlas. You can get on the atlas and it will show you where all of our accounts are around town, broken down by grocery stores versus bars and restaurants. So depending on what you're in the mood for and where you are, you can go and find that, and it automatically geolocates, so it pops up within a 5-mile radius where all the locations of atlas are around you. Second website launched right as we were expanding our distribution as well, so there's a whole set of people who have only seen the new website, but those who have seen both are really excited about the new website and all the information on there. They've been asking us for the information for a while, and they finally now have a really centralized and beautiful location they can go to find all that information. And the brand in general, people have been in love with it since day one. They love it just as much as we do. It's interesting and unique, and it's very strong and bold, and people really relate to that.
Would you say